Hey, so maybe you're one of my patients and I've talked to you about serrapeptase and hopefully you have talked to your referring provider about it. Someone who is really familiar with your medical chart, who can look at all of your prescriptions and make sure that there are no contraindications for you or for any of the medications you're on. So, what I have found is most of my patients who have endometriosis do well to get on the dose of 250,000 units a day. Of course, you need to clear this with your medical provider. And the brand that I tend to like the most is called Arthur Andrew Serretia, Serretia. Why I like this brand is I've had patients try many brands, and my personal experience with patients over time, I am definitely not a paid influencer or something like that for this company, not at all. I feel like people get the least GI upset with this, and also the potency per capsule is so high that in 2 capsules taken in 1 dose a day, they can get the potency. And I literally can feel the difference in my patients' tissues. They feel less sticky when I work with them once we get up to a therapeutic dose. That plus LDN, and I will leave a different video for you about LDN. So one thing to keep in mind is serrapeptase is really well touted for breaking down biofilm. So this means if you have some latent strep or some other toxic heavy metals, we know that people who have endometriosis tend to have higher serum levels of PCBs and other pesticides. We don't know exactly why, but some of the biofilms in your body can start breaking down. And this is one of the things that is in the medical research and high quality studies for serrapeptase. So I don't like people to start too fast because I don't want you to feel sick. So usually patients start with again, you need to clear this with your medical provider. I'm not your doctor. I'm just a physical therapist, and this is only for my patients. So usually patients start with a half capsule at a time. And if you have any die-off symptoms, that could be headache, fatigue, nausea, muscle aches, anything like that, you just stay at that dose. When you have noticed no increased symptoms for 5 full days, so say you had symptoms for 4 days, I'd want you just to stay at that dose, and then you had 5 days without symptoms, on the 9th day, I would consider that 5 symptom-free days. Then you would double that to 1 capsule. People always ask me, what do I do with the other half of the capsule? You can throw it out, or if you're worried about it, you can open it up and pour half into an empty capsule, which you could buy from Amazon, and then you could take it that way if your doctor agrees. So you're going to go ahead and increase to 1, and the same thing. I want you to go. Some people have no symptoms at all, so at 5 days they increase. Some people have some fatigue or some nausea or some die-off or brain fog or joint aches, in which case I don't want you to increase any faster than that. When you have 5 days without symptoms, then you would move up to 2, and 2 capsules is the dose you'll stay at. Now, it's really important not to take it anywhere near food, or it will just digest the food and it will be wasted. And in fact, I haven't noticed this with the Arthur Andrew brand as much. With the other brands, sometimes that makes patients get an upset stomach and nausea, and then sometimes we can't get back on it for quite a while. So it's important that you take it at least 1 hour before eating food, or 2 to 3 hours after eating food. And I would not take it with other meds, like your thyroid med first thing in the morning. We just don't know about what that would do to that med. So the other thing is you have to find a consistent time every day when you can take it on an empty stomach. And if you have any clotting disorders or anything like that, you would definitely want to discuss this with your primary care. Though I've had some patients locally whose providers have been excited for them to take it if they have a history of blood clotting or chronic sinusitis or recurrent strep in their body. But then remember, you have to start it slowly. So I'll have another video on some other related things, but I think that's enough to get you started and to have an informed conversation with your provider.